What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
Hello everyone and welcome into the show. Welcome on in each and every one of you gingerbread men and women out there. Hello and welcome in. I hope you are as sweet as you seem to be, but I know before long everything can come crumbling down with one bad hand, one bad game, one bad bite. Yes, it's true. This is Hunt the Week. It is a weekly Magic the Gathering podcast about the Sealed Arena Gauntlet League that we love and play in. This is Wilds of Eldraine Week 4. I am your host with the most, your Don John DeMarco, your Goku or Go Home. I am a 3-time top 8er, a 2-time league winner, and one time I lost in the decathlon finals to Steve Strout. Big Steve Stumper, made it all the way to the finals of the decathlon, did not make it past Steve and his many, many flyers. He won, he got the Player of the Year invite, but that was still a ton of fun to play in. Loved the decathlon, and we got a new side event coming out. Johnny's doing a brawl, another brawl. Kind of a not totally Pauper Brawl, but it's like a WOE Brawl Uncommon Commanders thing. Looks really fun. We got a couple pods going right now. If that's something you're interested in, see if you can get into another one. And if not, just watch us play out our decks, because I just built an Obura? I don't know. Fairies deck. And I'm going to play some fairies. Very fun, very exciting. But that's not the only format you can play fairies in, of course. In regular Wilds of Eldraine, you are chock full of fairies, rats, gingerbread, food, all kinds of weird stuff, lots of rolls. So let's go ahead and know our roll.
And I quote, you know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
As I record, this is your top 8. It is 3:04 p.m. on Thursday. Number 1, Nick S. Najisi, still up top, 16-4. Jack H. Rakic on the show this week, 15-5. Evan C. Peas of Crab, 14-6. Zach C. Zach Carr, 13-4. Raphael F. Prudent, 13-6. Thidgen H. Thidgen, 13-7. Jordan M. J. M. Tron, 13-7. Ben G. Paraco, 13-7. I guess it's noticed Evan out there playing people on their only first game of the week, only second game of the week. Man, he's 14-6, and he is really trying to edge out his games like that. Keep an eye out for Evan. Evan's wily. I can't believe that. Only your first game. I'm in third place, and I'll only play somebody who hasn't played any games yet this week. That's a little ridiculous. Anyway, 13-7 seems to be kind of where you're at. We're in week 4. People are starting to drop off. People are getting eliminated. And boy, the names up top, you know, you got Raphael, you got Jordan JM. I'm excited to see Nick S. and Jack up there. I hope they make it all the way through to the end. And boy, this is going to be a stacked top 8 as it always is. I hope you're enjoying Wilds of Eldraine, or Mom 2.0 as it's starting to become, because man, they did this thing where they started graying out the names. And like the more grayed out the name is, the more mom packs they have. And I'm seeing a lot of very gray, names here in the top 25 or so. Looks like mom is starting to take over. This was the first week where I played against like a mom heavy pool. I was not ready for it. That thing rolled me over. So yeah, take mom packs if you're not. I mean, in the top 8, you've only got 3 mom players in the top. No, that's not true. You've only got 3 people. I guess 3 people taking mom packs is still kind of a lot. 3 in the top 8, with 1 taking a lot of mom packs. Evan C. Peas of Crab. Watch out for his LFMs. Everyone else is kind of sticking to WoE. Kind of sticking to it. And it's still the mom versus WoE debate, right? Like, you go in mom packs, you go in WoE packs. And I think Jack had some very interesting opinions on it that we'll get to when we get to the interview. But that seems to be what's going on in this league. Is it WoE League? Is it Mom League? What's going to happen in the future when it comes to picking any set in Standard, or just any set? Like we had that discussion before this league. do you want any set in standard or just the last 4 or 5 sets that are released? And I think that it looks like they went with any set in standard. But if we went with the last 5 sets released, do you still think anyone's going to take Lord of the Rings over Mom? Or Shadows over Innistrad over Mom? I don't really think so. And I have a hard time thinking that going Mom in the future it's not just the new Strixhaven, right? Like, the cards are strong, they're powerful. They're going to have to figure something out, or every league from here on out is just going to be a Mom league. I don't think any of us want that. So be on alert, be careful, and know what pack you want. I'm actually on my... I get no more packs. I've got them all. I'm 10-10. I went 2-3 this week. Played Cody in our little death match on Monday. Did not win that game. Cody, if you want to know how broken the shuffler is, watch my game against Cody, man. Man, I did not draw any good call. It's like game 2, I drew no forest, and game 3 just got stuck on 3 lands for like 10 turns. It happens, but it's because it's broken. That's why. And you know what's not broken? When you get your friends together, everyone comes out and you have a little party, and that's what we're going to do now. Join me as we let the celebration begin.
Where once were contenders, now are befrienders. Let's celebrate lasses, celebrate lasses, celebrate lasses, celebrate lasses.
That's right. This week I had on Jack H. Rakic. Number 2, I had Nick S. on last week. Who's up next? Evan C.? Probably not. Zach C.? No, he doesn't want to come on. Raph? He's come on too many times. Thejan, maybe. And then Jordan, I love having Jordan on, but he comes on when he wins because he wins a lot. And Benji Pareco. Maybe I got to talk to Benji Pareco. 13-7, 4-1 this week. No 5-0s this week, huh? Nobody went undefeated yet, anyway, as I'm looking at this sheet, which is interesting. Oh, Sylvain Equidos is 3-0. Could make the 5-0 dream still alive and happen. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Jack H. We're talking about Rakic. It's his second league. He came in Lord of the Rings. He liked it so much. He came back. He has a friend in the league. I'm not going to tell you who it is. But if you listen to the interview, you'll know that they have a buddy in the league. And maybe I should get them on the show. Maybe that's what I got to do next. I don't know. Well, why don't you go ahead and listen to my interview with Jack now. All right, everyone. Join me this week as we let the celebration begin with none other than Jack H., a.k.a. Rakic. Welcome to the show.
It's an honor to be on. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's an honor to have you on, man, because we were just talking. We played last week. You're doing great in this league. Your deck seems super fun. I'd love to know, when did you start playing Magic?
Yeah, so I must have started 2012, 2013. 5th grade, my mom bought just a couple of packs she found at the store for me and my friend for Christmas. And like right from the get-go, we were hooked. We were like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, I remember it was core set 13.
Oh,
And I had this, I can't even remember the card name. It was a 5 green 7/7 with trample, and I thought it was the coolest card in the world. I was like, this is amazing. This is awesome. It's my favorite card. And I don't know, we didn't know how to play the game. We just like put the cards on the field and attacked each other.
yeah.
But yeah, so 10-11 years ago is when I started.
And core set Magic. You're speaking my language. I came in at core set 2014, and I love those old core sets. There's something I really miss.
Oh yeah, it's the simplicity. I feel like it's great. These days kind of cards will have, 200 lines of text on them. And it's nice to just be able to play a 4/4 for 4,
Yeah, it's just like give me my negates and my divinations and let me play my cards out and see how it goes.
Yeah, I'll play a murder any day of the week.
Oh, I know, right? Oh man, I miss give me that Brigathian Fire Cat and my slivers. How did you find the league? You're in here. You're newish, right? Like Lord of the Rings was your first one, so this is your
someone linked
second.
too. A friend of mine actually. So he's in the league too. It's Pedro D, and his arena name is Goombasa.
That's Goombasa. Yeah, I know that.
So he started with March the Machine, and he found you guys from the Reddit.
Nice.
So he did March Machines. He did the Neo Partner League with a friend. But we draft together every Thursday, And so at some point he's like,
Nice.
"Hey man, you might be interested in this league. It seems like of your jam because I love sealed. Sealed is I'm sad I only get to play sealed like, once every couple of months when a new set drops.
Yeah,
So he's like, you might like this league. It's like sealed, but you get extra packs out of when you lose. And I was like, that's pretty neat. Send me an invite, I'll check it out. And so that's how I got in the server. And it was a couple weeks before Lord of the Rings League, so I just kind of bummed around and waited for that league to start. But it was through an IRL friend that has done a few more leagues than I have.
that's really cool. Yeah, Goombasa. I always see that name around. I'm sure I've played them once or twice.
Yeah, he always tells me the story about his first league because mine was Lord of the Rings. I did fine.
Yeah.
He always tells me the story about his March of the Machine League where his first three of his first six rares were Transcendent Message, and he went 1-11. Really not a rare you want to see three of.
I can't believe he came back after that.
Oh yeah, I'm impressed too. If I went 1-11, I wouldn't show my face here for a year. I'd be
I'd
out.
I'd be like, I'm not wasting my money with those jerks. New rigged bot system.
Oh yeah.
So how'd you do in Lord of the Rings?
I ended at 11-11. I was pretty happy to have even win losses.
Yeah,
I'll chalk it up to like a pretty bad pool and figuring out how the league works and all that. But
first league is always there's a bit of a learning curve when you come
oh,
in.
definitely right. Um, and I ended up starting playing in green white, which is never where you want to be in Lord of the Rings anyway.
Oh no.
It was all over the place. And I feel like too the Lord of the Rings League, that those restrictions really shook things up too. So it was not like I feel like it was not an ideal starting league for me. Especially with having to change my deck every week and oftentimes in between every game. I went out in a blaze of glory in true Lord of the Rings fashion in a Faramir Brawl Ditto.
Oh boy, you
Took
are a
about
fair mirror.
took about an hour and 30 minutes too.
Oh my gosh, I saw some of those Faramir Brawl games, and I watched one, and I was like, yeah, that's it. I don't need to see any more of this.
It was a nightmare. I am glad to never have to play Faramir again, that's for sure.
Oh
Um,
man, yeah, Brawl. That's a fun and weird league to come in on because we don't normally do the restriction. Like they like doing that every now and then. But for that to be your first one, I could see that being a interesting challenge.
yeah, and no offense to any Lord of the Rings fans out there, just not my jam. And
Yeah.
aside from the fact that it was Lord of the Rings, that was miserable. I did not like that set in the slightest. I will never live down the red black amass deck. It's such an unbalanced format. And I love Scry as a mechanic, and it didn't get there.
And what I've learned after that set is that Tempted by the Ring is just a busted mechanic.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah. I went into it thinking it was all right, but geez, I went out of it. It's like the best mechanic in a limited set in a while.
yeah, we played in the Chaos Decathlon that we did. I had some Tempted cut by the ring cards, and if you just get any creature up to level 2, like it's just like in like a non Lord of the Rings format where other creatures aren't doing that. It's so strong.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that fourth ring temp will just murder people.
Oh, it's unfair. It's a dumb mechanic. Can't be blocked, and you get to draw a card, discard a card, and like you don't even need to get up to 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you weren't a fan of Mom. How are you liking Wilds of Eldraine? Let's talk about WoE League. You're doing great, so I'm sure you usually you like it when you're doing well. Like it's hard to complain.
Yeah, I dropped the ball a bit this week. 1-3 so far, which is not amazing. But yeah, it's been fun. I went into it, I didn't know what to think about the set much when I started. The Enchanting Tales are mostly just busts, so I wasn't even worried too much about those, but I thought the set seemed all right. I went into it, opened my seal pool. I got a buttload of removal, like a metric ton. And so it was kind of a no-brainer, just blue-black for me, because I had, I'm sure you've seen the 5 Johann Stopgaps as talk of the town.
Oh, you got 5?
Yeah. Richard was making fun of me for it on the feature match, but hey, they work.
Yeah.
And candy grapples and taking or feed the cauldrons, like any sort of good black and blue removal you can imagine. I probably have it.
Yeah, you've
Plus,
also got the giants, the bounce giants too. I remember.
oh yeah. There's a Talion somewhere in there and splashing green for some cards.
Oh gosh.
So I went into it as just my plan was play tempo, resolve a bomb, I probably win.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, since this is my first normal league, I didn't really know what to expect from other decks. Like I wasn't sure if like my pool was good or not because I hadn't played a normal league.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure how to like what does it compare to, right? Um, and I 4-1 week one, I 4-1 week two. Despite in week two having mana issues in every single match. And so after that, I was like, okay, I think I'm doing something correct. And then followed it up with a 5-0 in week three.
Yeah. I mean, that's just oof.
Yeah, and I think I've kind of caught up to the point now where people's prize packs have kind of equalized things a bit, where I'm not just going to be running over the whole league. But I'm hoping those first 3 weeks are good enough, right?
I mean, that's definitely what you want to see, right? It's like you want positive win rates and consistently. Like so 2-4-1s and a 5-0. It's not like you're not like locked, but you got a lot of wiggle room, right? You can
Yeah.
you can have your 1-4 week. I
Yeah,
mean,
like I think even dropping the ball this week, I've got the feature match tomorrow, but even if I lose that 1-4, I'm still 14-6, which is still in a great record. Like I'm
yeah, 14-6
probably in a week third, fourth, something like that, right?
going into week 4, yeah. So yeah, and the thing is, all you have to do is make it to week 6. If you make it to week 6, it's all about luck at that point, right? Like it's all
Right.
just going who can get hot, who can go on a little win streak.
Yeah, yeah. I'm interested too with week 6 because I ended week 5 in Lord of the Rings League, and week 6 seems like a whole different beast where there's like what, maybe 10, 15 players left.
Yeah, week 6 is it's a whole game in itself where it's people will complain about it, they don't like it. But yeah, there's only so many games left. It's kind of hard because you got to be around when they're around.
Right.
People play them pretty quick, so like if there's 30 games in the last week, if you haven't started by Monday, it's like, oh, now there's 7 games left, and
Then you kind of have to pick and choose, and your opponents can just not play you if they don't want it.
they can not play you, or like maybe like you play 2 of them, but then you can't play the other ones for whatever reason, and like things just don't work out. Like
Right.
it's math is hard, and there's only so many games to go around at a certain point.
Right, right.
But it's okay if it happens to you. All you got to know is be smart. Don't wait to the last minute to find games, and you just get real lucky. You just got to get real lucky. That's all it is. That's easy.
Yeah, and I'm hoping going into week 6 I can have 18 wins under my belt.
18, 20, 25, like, go.
Yeah, you win some among friends.
Yeah, you are doing really well. And I played, like I said, I played against your deck last week when you went 5-0. I think I remarked after the game, like you got enough interaction in that thing. That's all it was.
Oh yeah.
It's removal spell, bounce spell, bounce spell, removal spell, removal
Bomb.
spell.
Yeah. And
It's
I'm
gross.
happy too to have this kind of tempo deck because especially in those early weeks of the league, aggro is just not going to be there.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to throw together an aggro deck in a 60 card sealed.
Like later on and in later weeks, you can usually expect people to have a lot of removal. But like, the early weeks, you can kind of be like, yeah, I can kind of play into stuff a little bit more because I don't really expect people to have the kill spells around.
Right. And I think I did get some people just like the green red stompy decks that I saw so many of that just lose the counter spells and removal.
Yep. It's tough out there. What are you doing for punishment packs? Are you doing Mom? Are you doing WOE?
I've been waiting to talk about this. So
It's
I am
hot, man. Hot button issue.
So I didn't come here to play Mom League too. I came here to play WoW League.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that the people taking Mom packs are cowards.
Hey.
And are scared of their starting pools.
Yeah.
And yeah, I came here to play WoW, so I'm going to pick WoW packs till the end. And I'm expecting the top 8 to be probably about 6 people that picked Mom packs. And I'm hoping to put them in their place.
I hope you do too.
Yeah, you're a WoW enjoyer.
I'm sticking WoE. I'm going for synergy, right? Like I'm going for candy grapples and tough cookies.
Of course, right?
But I will say I did play against my first really heavy Mom deck today, and oh boy, I was not expecting the cards that they were playing.
Yeah,
they're throwing things at me that I had forgotten about and did not remember how they worked.
I played a test match against Cody Race the other day
Oh
and
yeah,
was having a great time of it until I got an Elishnorn dropped on me.
yeah.
That's certainly not a fun one.
Cody's got some bombs too. He's got a tally in there. He's got
Yep.
the Elish Norn. There's been some very strong. I played against a Lutri companion earlier
Yeah,
today.
I played that. Who was it? It was forgetting his name. Was it Jacob, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I lost one of my games this week to that too.
Yeah, it was. That was the really heavy bomb deck. Yeah, who is it? Jacob V. Dreisel.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
one.
Pretty sweet little Lutri command or companion going
Right.
on there.
Yeah, I think kind of at this point in the league too, the people that are picking straight mom packs have enough mom packs to like have some synergy going on there too, so that helps.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. At this point, it's kind of like your mom versus woe, and like, how's it gonna turn out? Who's the Phyrexians have invaded yet another plane?
Right.
When
And I
will
think
they
on
stop?
and I think on paper too, like mom packs are more powerful. They have better cards and the bonus sheet's a lot better.
Yeah, that bonus sheet, man. That bonus sheet is like so much better. The bonus
Yeah,
sheet in woe is so depressing.
it is. There's like 10 playable cards at most, and that's pushing it.
Yeah, it's like you really want better blossom, or like you don't really care that much.
Yeah, I think my deck actually has no cards from the bonus sheet on it.
I
Uh,
think mine actually might be the same.
yeah, I'd run a hatching plants if I found it, but haven't opened one yet.
Oh yeah, that is. I got hatching plans by Ryan D just yesterday.
It's a blowout when it works.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's ancestral recall, right? Like just draw some cards.
I'd still pay 2 mana for Ancestral Recall, yeah. Um, but yeah, I haven't found any yet.
Well, hopefully you will. You're sticking with Will, so you're gonna have some of those bonus cards coming your way.
Fingers crossed.
Well, we asked the league for questions, and always they didn't disappoint. Raphael F. Prudent, uh, he's got a question for you. He would like to know, what is your favorite guild?
My favorite guild. All right. So this goes back to the yield days. Me as a little old lad, fifth grader. I found the card Progenitor Mimic.
Nice.
And for people that aren't familiar, it's 4 blue green. Enters the battlefield as a copy of a creature, and at your upkeep, you make a token copy of that creature. Um, so it's a clone that starts pumping out more clones.
Yeah,
And I
it's
thought it was
like
the coolest card ever.
it's kind of like Helm of the Host, right?
Yeah, Helm of the Host, but you don't have to attack, right?
Yeah.
And I loved the card. I thought it was awesome. Um, so my first ever like real deck I built wasn't, you could call it modern, I suppose, but it's never gonna compete with like actual modern decks. The cards were legal in modern, but it was 4 copies of Biovisionary and then just as many clones as I could get my hands on. So from the starting day, I was a Simic player and I was playing. My friends didn't know how to do it. We didn't know what removal was. So we just like played creatures, and so they thought it was the most broken strategy. They're like, we can't stop him from getting 4 Biovisionaries. It's impossible. It's a broken deck. And actually, they wouldn't play against the deck after a while. But that was my starting origins was a Simic Biovisionary deck, and to this day, I'm still a Simic player.
That's awesome. That's really cool. The
Um,
the deck in my play group was like a mill deck that was like that. We were like, it would just mill you out. You're like, you're not even playing the same game. Like, that's not fair, man.
yeah, and when you don't know any better when you're little, it just seems like unbeatable.
Yeah, right. It's just like, well, I guess I just lose. Oh well.
Yeah, good games.
Well, that is awesome. Simic's a good one. I mean, you get some blue, you get some green,
Yeah,
you draw some cards, you get some big boys.
that's the plan.
Oh,
I'm a little sad. Simic's been underperforming in a lot of the recent draft sets. Like Simic in this one's not amazing.
no.
Simic in Lord of the Rings was terrible. And
Yeah.
Mamba was fine, but Simic's never been like an outstanding draft color. I just feel like he lacks so much removal that the other 3 colors provides. But I'm never mad to draft Simic. It makes me happy to play those colors, you know?
Hey, Simic's just one color away from Sultai, and that's where I am a lot of the
That's
time.
true. That's
You
a
know?
good point. Yeah.
Anyway, Simic's real close to being Sultai, which is something I like to do most of the time.
Yeah, my league deck's been running Sultai the whole time.
See, there you go. It's that Simic base, with a salty splash. Raph would also like to know, what do you attribute your success to in this league? Like we said, that hot start 4-1, 4-1, 5-0. What do you
Yeah,
think help that happen?
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a bit of luck.
Yeah,
Of course there's luck involved, getting a good pool, drawing good cards all the time, right? But
yeah,
definitely my starting pool. So I started with even my rare selection. So I had Ingenious Prodigy, which is the X blue, put X counters on it, take a counter, draw a card off it every turn, right?
yeah,
Talion, the mythic blue black fairy.
yeah,
Started with a Fawnsbane troll, and that card's messed up.
yeah.
Got the blue green land.
Those lands, the
I
lands are
love those
awesome.
lands. Yeah.
Yeah, the lands I think are really good.
I think I like them. They don't feel too good, but they feel like just good enough. Like I think the white black one is maybe a little bit underpowered, but I like all the rest of them. I feel like they feel efficiently costed and they're not like broken enough that I'm gonna lose anytime I see one. But
Yeah,
that Simic land's been putting in a lot of work for me. And just all the removal you could ask for in blue black. So the starting pool definitely I feel like helped a lot. And then sealed's kind of always been my jam. I feel like I can kind of put my deck building skills to the test in a sealed format, I think just I'm an experienced player. I've been playing for 11 years, right? And that definitely helps with these kind of limited games. I've been drafting probably since 8 years ago. So I do have a lot of limited experience under my belt.
and I would say you kind of have to be at least somewhat decent to come into this server and go like 11-11 your first run, and then have like this really nice run your second. Like you have a positive win rate, right?
Yeah.
So like that's not easy to do. Like so you got to be good, right? Like you can't just come in here and start playing against all the like. There's people, I'm sure there's people in here that have played on pro tours. There's people in here that are like top 10 arena drafters, like
Right.
very high level competition, and even going 11-11 is very hard to do.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad I got into Lord of the Rings as my first league, just to kind of have that experience, because I feel like if I started Wilds of Eldraine as my first league, I wouldn't have been doing so well in those first 3 weeks. I'd still be kind of sorting out like, hey, what's this league thing? How do I find matches, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of good to have that trial run out of the way on a set that I didn't like that much. To go into it with some experience in league too.
As a new player, newer-ish player, was that something that you had trouble with, or were there things that you had trouble with, like adapting to? Was it like finding games was hard, or figuring out how to get packs into your pool?
As far as the technical side of things, there wasn't a ton of stuff I had issues with. I actually do have something I want to talk about with
Oh
the
yeah,
Wilds of Eldraine League, or sorry, the Lord of the Rings League too.
sure.
Reminded me of it. So I remember it's my first league, so I didn't know like how the whole like social like side of things went down.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Raphael doing that thing where he would like in the Brawl week where he would play people not in Brawl, where he'd be like,
Oh
I'll do a
yeah.
step where I'll just play you a normal match. And I remember thinking like, this guy's an asshole. Like I can't believe he's doing this.
Oh, he is. He is.
Um,
He is.
and I was
He
like,
is.
this guy, like, come on, what a jerk. Like, I can't believe he's messing this all up. And the whole thing in the committee where you guys were talking about, like, is this allowed or not? And I was like, I don't know if this is like a regular occurrence every league or not. And I've met him since, played a few games. Like, he seems chill, but my first impression of him was like just messing the league up for everyone. I was like, come on, man.
That's classic Raph, man. That's classic Raph. There isn't always, but like sometimes there's definitely things that come up that are contentious, and there's drama, and there's things that happen that cause things to happen. That's part of the excitement of the league. And did Raph kill Stips? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
But and Raph can be kind of an ass for sure. But Raph is also a very nice guy.
I've met him and talked with him since then. Yeah, and my opinion of him has definitely changed.
He's gonna look for an edge. That's Raph's thing. He's gonna look for a way to exploit a rule if there is one, because he can. and yeah, that's what he does. So so until you know, they say you can't exploit rules, he's going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Damien would love to know, when did you decide to represent the ex Yugoslavia with your arena name?
Yeah, so I assume this has to do something with Rakic being some sort of name of some person from there.
I have no idea.
I'm
My guess
actually
is
curious.
I guess my question would then be, what does Rakic come from? What is this arena handle you have?
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people have some grand stories behind their arena name. Mine is not that grand. Um, this account, I'm the kind of the drafter of my arena account, and my old roommate will play constructed.
Sure.
So I'll get all the wild cards, whatever. He'll build his decks, right?
Yeah.
And like I've said, I'm very much a Simic player, and he enjoys playing red black Rakdos, right? So it's just a combination of the two words. And we took Rakdos and Simic and we smushed them together and got Rakic. And it sounds pretty
Rakic.
cool, I think. Um,
Rakic. I like it.
yeah, so that's where that came from.
So a Rakic deck would be what, everything but white?
Yep. And funny you mentioned it too. His name on Discord is UBRG, which is the combination of those two guilds as well.
Jeez.
Um, we also
They're
grew
making
up,
Rakdos.
yeah, we grew up playing Commander. I've Commander Origins, in an era where white was not good.
It
Uh,
finally got there, but yeah, white was bad for a long, long time.
it's got some support now, but yeah, we were very much the Commander white hating train. Like, just we would play all colors but white because it just didn't do anything.
Who's your favorite commander?
Favorite commander. All right, I got to think about this one.
Yeah, if the commander players that come on, they always got some really fun commander decks out there. I know
Yeah,
Raph's a big commander guy.
I don't play a ton anymore. I played bunch probably starting up like up until COVID hit.
Sure.
I've had a lot of decks over the years. I think my favorite one is Grinzo Dungeon Warden.
Ooh, I like this.
So it's the X red black 2/2 enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, and you can pay 2 mana and put the bottom card of your library into your graveyard. If it's a creature card with less power than it, put it less power than Grinzo's, put it onto the battlefield.
Do you have ways to like manipulate the bottom of your library?
Oh yeah, so like scry effects are huge because
Oh
anytime you
yeah.
scry, it's like, hey, look at this 6 mana 2/2. I don't want this. Put on the bottom. Um, scry effects. There's a lot of weird cards. There's a lot of kind of like draft chaff cards that put cards to the bottom just so like to avoid milling out. Those cards are incredible in that deck. Like I think the best card in the deck, one of them is Cauldron of Eternity. So when a creature dies, put it on the bottom of your library.
Oh no.
So there's a lot of weird like draft chaff cards that no one would ever run in any deck except for this one, because they just stick random cards in the bottom.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool kind of commander deck I would love to see and play against that's doing some weird thing that it just does really well.
It's a really unique build, that's for sure. Yeah.
Ryan D, the slickness, would like to know. So we heard you talk to Raph a little bit. Have you chatted with anyone in the league while you've been playing your games, or is this kind of your first big chat, the podcast here?
Yeah, as far as like voice chatting goes, I've talked, obviously talked with people when I'm playing games, GG's, nice deck. But
Yeah, for sure.
um as far as like big server events like this one, this kind of it. So this is my first time I've kind of like sat down and had like a one-on-one chat with someone. I played in the Richard's feature match in week 2.
Nice.
Um, but I haven't really been involved with like just drafting with someone, talking with them. I do remember my first league in Lord of the Rings. I talked a lot with Miranda because she kind of like helped me because it was my first league. She was like kind
Sure.
of giving me the information I needed to like build my decks and what like how to find matches and going into week 4 and 5, like what's it gonna look like, right? Um but yeah, I haven't been super involved with like the people themselves, which I'd like to do that. But I figure I'd kind of chill out and scope it out first.
Hey,
Um
whatever works for you is what works, man. That's all the best advice I can give.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you don't have to do nothing you don't want to, and if you want to, talk to people and stream and do drafts and whatever, like people love to do it. Then like, I don't know, they're not. I get asked to stream my games all the time, and sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. Like
Yeah.
it's whatever I'm feeling at the time, kind of.
And definitely after, I think after this league, people will at least know a little more about who I am.
Oh yeah,
And so
Racket
that'll definitely help. Yeah.
coming in
Racket,
here
that guy that
with
destroyed the Wilds of Dream
yeah,
League.
Racket coming in with a boom. He's half Simic, he's half Rakdos. What's he gonna do?
Right.
And really, you have been crushing this league, and keep it up. I'd love to see you make it all the way to the top eight. Top eight's a lot of fun. That mega draft is that's how you know you made it, is when you make that mega draft.
I'm open.
All right, it is time for Steve Stumper.
Steve Stumpers.
I'm just a puzzle guy.
I've been thinking about this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, this is a fun one. So Steve, he always sends in his crazy complicated rules question for you, and he did not disappoint. Steve says, Nina has Jackal Pup and Fiery Emancipation. Ada casts Shock, targeting Nina's Jackal Pup. Nina uses Boros Charm to make it indestructible with the damage trigger on the stack. Ada casts Active Aggression to steal Jackal Pup for the turn. Then Ada attacks with the Jackal Pup. How much damage did Nina take this turn?
All right. So what I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
right, is so Ada casts Shock, targeting Nina's Jackal Pup. Nina uses Boros Charm to make it indestructible with the damage trigger on the stack. So the shock has resolved. Jackal Pup has taken the damage.
Okay.
Ada casts Acts of Aggression to steal Jackal Pup for the turn.
Mm-hmm.
So the Jackal Pup trigger says when it is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to you. The change of controllers is not going to change who controls that triggered ability. So the damage is still going to Nina. Now, this is a part I'm not sure about. This is the part I didn't think about.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it will be 2 damage and not 6. Because Fiery Emancipation reads, whenever a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that much damage instead. However, when the Jackal Pup does the damage, it's not under Nina's control, so the damage does not get tripled.
Okay.
And then, so Nina will take 2 damage from Jackal Pup's triggered ability, and then 2 damage from Jackal Pup attacking her for a total of 4 damage.
Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Congratulations. You were not stumped by Steve. This was a fun one. This was a weird one.
It really took me a minute to think about it. I've never had an interaction, like I've never seen an interaction with a triggered ability and then the thing that's triggering changes controllers in the middle. It took me a minute to think.
It's weird. It's super weird. Yeah, this is a weird one. Yeah, Steve says Nina takes 4 damage, exactly like you said. 2 from the trigger, 2 from the attack. The pup's damage trigger isn't tripled because although Nina controls Jackal Pup's ability, the pup itself is the source of the damage.
Yeah.
And she doesn't control that when the damage happens. If Ada would have waited for the ability to resolve before stealing the pup, Nina would have taken 8 damage instead. Well, Rakic, Simic, Rakdos. I just love that. Now that I know what that means, it makes so much sense every time I say it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. I get it. I'd love to thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much for making time to come on my little Magic podcast and talk to you about Magic for a little bit and get to know you a little bit better. I did really enjoy playing you. I thought your deck looked super fun, and I love seeing newer players do well. So so happy for you. Go out there and crush this thing, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on the podcast, and I am hoping to finish this league as strong as I started.
Hey, I'll be rooting for you out there. I'll be watching to make sure you don't take any money. If you take a mom pack, so help me.
You can have my word on. You can have my word on that. It is Eldraine till the end.
All right, that's what I want to see. That's what I'm here for. Eldraine till the end. Good luck in the rest of your games. And again, thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Jack was great to talk to, of course. Super fun. I love the WOE purist in him, because that's what I am. That's what I'm going. All WOE all the time. What can I say? He was a super nice guy, doing great in second. Looks like he actually turned it around. I think he said he was 1-3. Looks like he ended the week at 2-3. So you got that last win sitting at 15-5. And this is week 4. So going into week 5, you can 0-5 and still make it to week 6. Now, week 6 is different. Week 6 is hard. But you can do it. I mean, you can do it, man. You really, really can. Anybody in the top 8, top 16 even, top 25. Someone's going to go on a streak. Someone's going to win this thing out. Someone's going to come from behind, and someone's going to have that 1-4-0-5 week, and they are going to drop down. Don't let it be you. Play your best Magic. Keep your good hands, and be ahead of the curve. We said goodbye to Miranda's Mega Draft Madness this week. The finals were held just last night, and of course, Nick S. Najisi. He's just everywhere. Top of this, top of that. He won that. I played against him. His deck was brutally strong. Destroyed me. Crushed me. Crushed me so bad I dropped out of the event. It was getting late, but still. Dropped right after playing Nick, and Nick is awesome. I love talking to Nick. I still feel bad that I was late for that interview. And here's what you get. The karma is I am losing in everything, and Nick is destroying. So that's what good karma gets you. But Miranda's Mega Draft isn't the only thing we have to say goodbye to this week. We lost some players. We really did. And sometimes when you're in the land of the sweet, it's not always as sweet as you want it to be. And we need to say goodbye to those players now.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Jordan P. Chunky Lover, 53. Vera L. Zenai Dias. Oh, I said that one wrong. Robert S. Rickle Pick. Caden T. Don't mess with my cards. Oscar T. Aussie Tubby. Philip M. Fat Kitty. Nick L. Next Level Nick. Zach G. Shards. Kevin C. Kevin. John M. It's Magic. Caleb K. Black Echo. Joe T. Elasticity. Chris R. Sinkwater. Oof, sorry, Chris. Mike P. Unwieldy Biscuit. Nicholas K. Bionic. Robert M. Laugh It Up. Chris Y. York on Games. Cody Race. Dustin D. Balloon. John R. Ged. Joaquin E. Diabolic Machine. Miguel B. Ethorius. Caleb G. Why Not? Shao L. Tamamo. And that's it. That's everyone we've lost. Lost a lot. That felt like a lot of names. I guess I should... I mean, some of these people probably got eliminated last week on, like, Entropy or... I don't know. But, whew, that was a lot. Well, until next time, I hope you get to keep a good 7. Because that's what it's all about. That's what we're here to do. We're here to play Magic. And it starts by keeping a good 7. And I hope that Shuffler is in your favor. Because if it's not, just go watch those games I played against Cody on Monday. Shuffler was not having it. Shuffler is broken, okay? Shuffler did not want me to play Magic that day. So I don't care if you keep a good 7, because if you're just going to draw 10 non-land cards off the top, you're not playing the game. So I wish you luck in the 7, in the Shuffler, and in the league. And we'll see everyone here next week as we get ready to wrap up Wilds of Eldraine League. Bye, everybody.